o'clock. It's about 15 minutes till. Got a little bit of a slow start this morning because my son is home ill. I guess he went out to eat yesterday, and what he ate didn't agree with him, so he's having a little bit of trouble today. We've already set up an appointment for this evening for the doctor, but in the meantime, he's downstairs moaning and groaning, and so I spent a little time with him getting him settled and making sure he took some medicine and stuff. So, but I don't think it's anything serious. I think it's just a stomach thing. So, yeah, we are. I think I forgot to update the title there. Okay, there's that. Let me do the tweet thing before I forget. Didn't even open this. Kind of out of whack here because I have like a normal routine that I go through, and if it goes kind of wonky, then I get all confused. Okay, so that's tweeted. Good to go. As you can see, we're back on my alts plot. This is Dill's place. And we're going to be finishing up the CBDC thing that I was building that we started last week, the Protostar-themed operation game. Before we get started on that, though, I did want to remind, I guess it was Friday evening, afternoon, I got word that the decor pack for the spring is back on the shop. Let's see. You can find it either under the limited time right here, or you can go to the housing and it's also there. And it's the same pack that we had before, where you get like 30 or so pieces. It says here spring garden, which is all of those flowers and the fences with the vines on them. And the tea set, of course, and a couple of rainbows. One of these statues, a pot of gold, and I don't know what else. So it is limited time. I assume they're keeping it up until, I guess, they decided it needs to come off. I don't know if it's going to be up for the entire season of spring or not, but be sure and grab that if you can. It's a reasonable price for 30 or so decor items for only 115 omnibits or 230 in-coin. That's a pretty good deal, in my opinion. Hey, Faye, good morning. Thanks for joining. As well, since we're talking CBDC, which is Custom Built Decor Challenge, we've gotten already quite a few entries. I say entries, it sounds like it's a contest, but it's really not. It's just a challenge for folks that want to, do it. It's just for fun. It's nothing, no prizes, no judging, nothing like that. But I've already been getting tweets of people's things that they've been building. Morning, Maddie. Glad you could join. And like we've got like some lawn chess, volleyball, battleship. One person did a Quidditch field, and an assortment of arcade games. There's lawn darts, badminton, and croquet. So a pretty big variety of games, which is fantastic. That's the whole point of this, just to get people's imagination and creativity going. And so I'm really liking how it's progressing so far. A lot more things that we're going to get to look at the end of the month. If you'd like to join, all you have to do is somehow, in some way, message me where it is. You need to give me like region. I have a character on NA, and I'll have one. Currently, I've got one on Exile side. I'm going to be working on getting one hooked up on Dominion side. So faction, region, character name, and kind of whereabouts on the plot it is. If it's in the bunker, if it's in the corner, up above, wherever, just so that I know what I'm looking for. And other than that, if it's something you've already built, that's fine too. It's not that you can't let me know about those and that we won't show them, but mention that it's something you've had on your plot for a while or whatever. Because that way I can say, you know, this is something that's been around. This is like before we got all these other nifty pieces, and this is what they come up with. You know, because I know there's a lot of people that's like made pool tables in the past. Um, but I say that, but the main objective is for people to build new things. It's not that I won't accept things that have already been built. I know there's a few that were worried about that. I'm happy to show those off as well. But this is, it's not that those are forbidden. It's just that I'm trying to get people to keep those creative juices flowing kind of thing. So if you've already built some things in the past, sure, let me know about them, show them off, but maybe build something new as well. You know, maybe you built a pool table in the past, but now you have an idea of how to build a better one, something like that. Okay, so yeah, if you want to participate, just build something. You have until the 31st of this month. On that day, that's when I'll be showcasing all of these builds on the stream, and we'll be hopping from not just the factions but the different regions, and you know, just to kind of show them off. And it's kind of like a little keepsake catalog of everything that people make for these things. And even if you don't keep it after it's over, if you want to get rid of it, at least you'll always have a little tour video to kind of remember it. And of course, I'll be taking screenshots as well. So yeah, it doesn't really have any other restrictions other than the theme. Stick with the theme. Like I said, this month's theme is games, so it'll be arcade, lawn games, board games, carnival games, whatever you can think of. And yeah, I just wanted to keep it open so it gives a lot of people, you know, it's not like it has to be a specific type of game or anything. And so far, folks have been really creative in the stuff that they've been coming up with, so it should be fun. So yeah, pretty much I've left this kind of the way it was last week. You can see I went ahead and enlarged the hole in his abdomen chest area and resized the rib cage a little bit. I've added a blinking nose for him. On the original operation, it's the little character has a red nose, but I couldn't think of any good ones that had blinking red bits on them, so I just used the detonator. It's the same thing I used for the bakery sign on my other plot. I thought about maybe extending it out since the Protostar guys have that long nose, but because of the way the detonator is, it has that long wire, and that kept showing up, so I just left it as a little squatty nose. So he's got this little. And the idea is, if you've never played Operation before, when you use the tweezers to try to pluck out the little body parts, if you hit the side, the little buzzer goes off, and at the same time, the nose lights up. It's not that I can actually have this interactable so that it only comes up when we're touching it or anything, but you get the idea. So I really haven't done anything other than I was playing around with trying to figure out what kind of bones I could use for some of the other parts. Again, I wanted to put one inside the leg and one over here on the arm. And of course, I've gotten the other eyeball. I guess I could go ahead and put that in. Now he has two freaky eyes. Again, I know that the sockets are probably a little big. I may end up reducing them down a little bit to make it look. Maybe I should just add in some extra. So it doesn't, because it looks like the sockets are too big. Probably should have built this on the wall so I could see it a little better. Hard, because the camera doesn't go straight up and down. Did you guys have a good weekend? Mine was pretty uneventful. It was very warm. We were supposed to go to Lunch Garden yesterday with my in-laws to kind of celebrate both the Mother's Day thing and it also happens to be their wedding anniversary, and I ended up getting a little ill and didn't get to go. But something they do every year, so maybe next time. Almost looks like SpongeBob eyes. That's what it looks like to me. Looks like it, even the shade of the shadow there looks like his eyelashes. Pretty freaky. Okay, before I do anything else, I want to go ahead and link those, because all of this is linked together on this big piece here, and so anything thereafter that I add, I want to make sure they get all linked in. Oops. Thought I did more than just the two, but I guess not. And I really should add something for his mouth. Let's see. He's like, oh no. The weird expression. Almost looks like a girl. Oh well. We'll leave it like that. Let's see. Still need to fill in the shadow of the little pockets here for the other bits. Go ahead and do that. Now I will mention, I know for sure this Friday I won't be streaming. I have a doctor's appointment, just a checkup kind of thing, so just wanted to let you know that Friday will not be stream day. And I'll probably mention that again the day before, just so that everybody's aware. I know I say my hours are kind of squirrely, but I feel obligated to let people know if I'm going to be on, if I'm not. The only thing I probably annoy people with is that I don't have like a set time that I'm on, except the Wednesday tours. I'm pretty much always at around 8 on those, but it's just, I don't know, it's tough to do the scheduling stuff and stick to it. I think even Carbine has trouble with that. You know, they'll say we're going to be here, and then like 10 or 15 minutes later, that's when they actually come on. It's tough to stick to a schedule. There's so many things that can get in the way, change. If you're wondering what this is the little claw bone you get from Arctera. And I'm gonna try and use one of the little finger bits as a bone for his leg. The trouble is the way the bone is shaped, I was having pieces stick out that I didn't want sticking out, and See, like right there, and I was having trouble getting it to lay right, because if you turn it this way, then part of the other bone starts showing up, and it's like, Urgh. So maybe I should just a little one here. So finicky. Oops, I'm just rotating it the wrong way. Need to hit the red one. It doesn't help that the little hole that I'm trying to put this in is so tiny anyway. Hey Rhoda, thanks. Glad you could join us. Okay, maybe I need to turn it this way. Let's see, that's gonna show. Always something with the bones. I tried using some of the other spiny bits. I don't have all of the bones on this character's, or the alt anyway, so I may have to experiment a little more with one that will show up better. Let's try this one. Yeah, at first I tried to use this one, but the claw tips show through strangely enough. Let's just try the end. Maybe that'll work. Like a kneecap or something. You can buy that. Yeah, see, Carbine should really exploit their fan base of their desire to have all these WildStar goodies. I imagine they could come up with all sorts of Protostar games. And we talked about how like a little Price is Right version might work. I don't like that because the bone looks dark, so it doesn't quite fit. So picky. Let's try this. It's just not cooperating, the piece that I picked. Got a weird little hooky bone there. Almost, I think. If I can get this turned right. I turned it this way because I don't want anything sticking out the bottom there. There we go, some kind of little leg bone thing. It's really a finger bone, but I don't think anyone's gonna care. There we go. Finally. I know it's sticking up a little bit, but I don't think I can get away with pushing it too far down because then some of the other stuff is gonna poke up. Kind of like with the ribs, they're sticking pretty far up as well. Okay, so I have two of these claws, the ice serpent claw bones, so I'm going to just duplicate and use it for the arm as well. Hopefully that works. And there we go. So now he's got, you know, the leg bone, the arm bone, the rib cage, the eyeballs, and the brain. Disgusting little brain. with some holes in it apparently. Okay, so probably the final thing that we need to put up is the game comes with like a little tweezer thing. I don't know. I didn't really take a look at how it looked exactly, so I'm just gonna kind of wing it. But I figured some swords would work for that. Let's see what we got. We can go with the broadsword, the engraved sword, which is kind of the same, just a little longer, or the Draken sword, the funnier one. I've used these for scissors before in the past that work really good. So I think we'll use these and try and come up with something that looks like tweezers. I don't know if it's going to work or not, because I think it's going to be weird. No wishbone. I just kind of went with the idea, the concept of it, but I didn't want to like match it exactly. So no wishbone. Why there would be a wishbone in the body anyway, I don't know, but excuse me. Okay, so let's just lay this out flat. And we'll get it sorted first, kind of like what we think it needs to be, and then we'll place it a little better. So I figured, I really think it would be better the other way. Because this looks more like tweezer ends rather than those, so just find a good, I want this to kind of be the same, but you know, it's not crisscross on the sides, and just, there we go, it's like Osun sized tweezers. And let's just, that looks about a good size for this. Oops. Ah, for crying out loud. Now, does it look better with it out like that or with the other part showing? That looks good. Okay, and then we've got some, hey boy, good morning. Glad you could join. So let's see, we need some way of connecting the tweezers to the, you know, the little play box here. So I had a couple of extra of these. I think these are the ones, I want to say they're the crafting ones, but I'm not sure. There's actually one you can get straight off of the vendor if you don't want to craft. That's fine. Wow. Let's looks a little weird. Put it this way. Just trying to make it look like it's kind of draping over the edge there, and then we're going to attach another one on the end here, so it looks, is the way the wire is shaped, it's not like you can kind of control the angle it's laying at. I'm just kind of baking it in here. And let's just grab one of the wires. I guess it's a cable, no, hanging cable. Yeah, the old gang. Look, that one like looks much meatier than the other one. Even though I've sized it the same. Isn't that weird? Bring that up a little bit. Something like that. And I'm going to put, just use another detonator here. Not so big though. Let's see, 0. Oh, come on. So finicky. There we go, something like that. Oh, the things they come up with. So goofy looking. Hey Lay, good morning. Glad you could join. Just fair warning guys, I probably won't be hanging on too terribly long today because again, my son is homesick. That's part of the reasons why I got started a little later today. And I know he's a big boy and he could probably take care of himself, but you know, mommy stuff kicks in when your kids are sick, no matter what age they are. You know, you still want to kind of tend to them. So, okay, so let's see. We need to link the bone. Oops, not move it. Let me do a reload. Kim boy, yeah, something like that. Get to tweezer out the parts and try and not make his nose light up. Something like that. I need to link the bone to the big part of the face. Got the mouth that I gotta link as well. I think we need to link this bone here. Tweezers need to be linked. Thanks, Leia. I appreciate that. I'm sure it's just one of those little 24-hour stomach bugs, I think. Apparently he was up early this morning, which clearly indicates that he wasn't feeling good, because usually he doesn't get up until a few minutes before he has to head out. But let's see. Put in the new eyeball as well. That needs to be linked. Anything else that I added? I don't think so. Oh, right. The little box on the side. Okay, so I think that's everything. Let's check. No, all the shadows for his arms and stuff. The leafy stalks. Remember the colors of the green, the dark, and the light, it's basically the same. It's not the same item, but it's the same style. One is leafy stalk version 2, and the darker one is leafy stalk version 1. They just happen to both have different bottoms, which is pretty interesting. Okay, what else are we missing? I think there was some more of the face up there. Yeah, the eye. I can see that it's not lighting up purple. Is SpongeBob eyes. Okay, let's see if that's everything. No, we're still missing a couple of things. One in the mouth, one in the thing, and one in the leg. Okay. Gonna be tough getting it to select because the bone's covering it. What I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to link it all up together so that we can shrink it. And where was the other one? Was that in the eye? Nope, the mouth. Okay. There we go. We found the culprit. Okay, so that's everything. So it's a little on the large side. I like building bigger sometimes. That way, when you got it all set like you want, then you can kind of just size it however. I do that with some of my paintings. Sometimes I'll build really big, and then later I'll shrink it down to a more manageable size. And I think we'll do the same thing with this one. Now notice, like things like the rib, it's already at 0.02, which is almost as small as you can go. But if I have it linked to this other one that's at 1, I can scale it down basically however I want, and it still shows up. It doesn't like hang in a certain size. It scales down with it, which is nice. Let's put that at 0.5. I think that'll be all right. And have a look. Granted, at this size, for most of these pieces, you won't see them from a distance. You'll have to always be up close to see the details, which I think most of us builders realize that that's the case for most things that we build. If we go to take a screenshot of a house or something, there's a lot of details. You have to kind of be strategic about where you stand so that you can show the things that you want. But there we go. We have the little Protostar operation game. A little I don't know, maybe it's a little morbid, but I think a lot of people are familiar with the game, the original operation, enough that they won't mind. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Knowing Katya, she could make some kind of like add-on that would like work, so she could roll and have it like manipulated or something. I know she's got that add-on now that the eyes could follow you. That would be kind of freaky. It almost looks like that way anyway, that he's looking at you everywhere you stand. So yeah, we're done with that. I'll have to think about a few more ideas about a couple other games. You know, usually when I do these challenges, I don't like giving challenges that I'm not willing to do myself. That's one of the reasons why I always I did that even before when it was just for my guild. I would always build one as an example, and then later I might build one or two other things. But yeah, Roden, it probably is. Um, so just like with this for you guys, while I'm giving everyone that's a builder the challenge, I'm also willing to do it myself. And you know, you don't have to do just one. If you do just one, that's fantastic. But if you want to do more, that's great too. So we'll probably do some others. Watching what other people have been working on, I will probably try and make something that hasn't been made yet, or that isn't made very often. In the past, I've done pool tables, and I think that's really the only other game I've made beyond what we did today and everything. I think that's the only ones. I've seen checkerboards and chessboards, and I've seen the foosball tables and the ping pong, like the table tennis thing. I've seen the ones they've done like the 3D chess kind of deal where they have little different platforms and stuff. A few weird things that looks like a game, but it may not resemble exactly an existing one. So some like little stone game or something. But I'll come up with a few ideas, and hopefully we'll be able to use those as additional CBDC project kind of things. I did make copies of these, and I'm going to be moving these to my bed and table store in the Protostar shop, which I'm probably going to head to now. The weird thingies up here are gone. Do a reload. For some reason, sometimes when I place a bunch of objects, a lot of things disappear. I don't know why. Let's go back to my mains house, the Protostar Sky Plaza. And I'll show you where I'm planning to put the new bed. I already have two beds there, but they've been there for quite a while, and either I'm just going to push them aside and just add an extra bed. I'm going to have to be paying attention to my decor count because it's getting close again. So let's see. The table will probably go here. The little bedside table will go in the table shop, and the beds, I think they're upstairs. Yep, here's the bed shop. So I got a couple of beds already, but I'll probably add another display and just put the new one there. I didn't really check the scale of it, so I will probably adjust that. That's one of the things, like I said, if you build bigger and then you realize it's a little oversized, then just kind of adjust it, and that's probably what I'll do here. I'll match it more to the scale that these are, because I think the other one's on a little bit on the large side. But I wanted to show that I am working on a new painting. This is for Tiki. Originally, I guess it was last year, I'd offered to build them a tree, a holiday tree, and I built the tree, but I haven't actually finished decorating it. So they asked instead if I would do the forest painting. So I'm working on it. You can see there's some pieces there. It doesn't quite, this is like supposed to be a dirt path leading off into this green forest, you know, or going through it or whatever. These parts here are mossy overgrowth. It's just giant trees that have been turned into little, oh, what do you call those? Bonsai size. The path is mostly the mossy bits. That's why it keeps moving. I think the windy issue that we've been having with the exterior is affecting these pretty strangely. So I'm going to warn Cheeky to make sure that they keep this on an indoor. I don't think it'll move as much. But the whole path is just these mossy overgrowths. I like the darker color than the regular overgrowths. And I like how it kind of, it just goes nuts, it goes wiggly every now and then. But you can see how it just kind of, I like the way it almost looks like there's shade and different patterns, and it kind of follows the path. I was trying to make it where it like come out here and then zigzag back and forth, but I'm not quite finished on sorting that out. This here is bramble hedges. It's basically those little clumps that I use for giant trees on other plots. I shrunk them down, and I've just been patching them together to make interesting little tree shapes. The sand is a cardboard box. We've used that on other paintings as well. And then I'm starting to add little mossy bits. This is a mossy hut peach version that I just happen to have. But they're not so easy to get a hold of now. They used to be, but apparently they've kind of gone in hiding. So I just kind of sunk it in there to make it look like there's a little bit of stone, and then also these little mushrooms and things. But I think the thinker heads will be more suitable. I can craft those, so I'll be able to get a hold of a bit more. The greenish sky part, that's just, it's a green glass overlaying, overlaying a, well, there's several layers apparently. The crate, metal crate. I wanted a green sky to kind of go with the green forest bit, and then I just kind of highlighted a little bit with the glass just to kind of emphasize. I wanted it to be kind of misty, creepy looking, not creepy, but you know, I don't want a blue sky like we have, or the sunset version that was a little different. So I was trying with different, and green seemed to be suitable since it's a foresty. So I'm hoping it works out, but the plan is it's going to be just full of greenery and trees on both sides, and just kind of having that path go down the middle there. So yeah, that's just a sneak peek. That'll probably be another project that we'll work on besides the CBDC stuff. And of course, I still have parts of the bakery and bingo that I want to sort out. Let's just go over there. Like, I want to install some street lamp kind of things for the park, because it looks fairly decent right now, but it's because the sky is daylight at the moment, but when it gets dark, it's really, really dark. So I'm planning on using, let's see, what lighting did I grab? Yeah, I'm planning on using the orange sconce. I like the orange sconce, not the orange. But I use that so often that I wanted to try a different one, and the orange version sconce seems to be pretty good. And I think it'll work well as a street lamp kind of thing. It gives off a pretty good radius of light. Obviously, I'm not going to have it that big, probably like so. But it has a nice little spotlight, and it has the whole little bracket thing. So mostly I'll have to figure out how to make a pole, my own pole. Yes, there are lots of lamps in the games. Different versions from like Exile to Ichthian and everything, but I like making my own stuff just to see what I can make. And like the lamps on my main plot, I made those from scratch as well, although I don't think a lot of people realize that when they walk by it. These here are custom, like 3 or 4 pieces that I put together to make those, and I'm going to be doing the same with the one on the bingo plot. They don't give as much light as I'd like because I made them so small, but still I like playing around, experimenting with different ones. So we've got the street lamps. I still have 1 tray of desserts in the bakery that I need to do. I'd like to try and come up with 1 more dark bread. I haven't had time to kind of look through some more items that I might could use, but I'll come up with something and we'll try with that. With the little Protostar guy that we made for the operation game, I think I'm going to try another Protostar poster for the bingo hall and remove one of the like the travel poster one and replace it with a custom one that I make, because I kind of like the way that one on the operation game turned out, and I'd like to experiment a little more with dressing that up a bit better. So several things on the bingo plot. There's the 1 or 2 more CBDC games that I'd like to make. There's the painting that I'm working on, and who knows what else will pop up between now and then. So lots to keep us busy. Like I said, I'm going to be heading off here very shortly because, like I said, my son is homesick and I want to make sure he's doing okay. I want to make sure he's drinking plenty of water and taking his medicines and stuff. But I will be back tomorrow. We'll probably, if I can't think of a game thing that I want to start on, then we'll probably work on the painting a bit. So that's that to look forward to. Wednesday is house tours. It's Dominion's turn this time, so I'm going to try and see what all ones I have on my list that we could look at. If worst comes to worst, if I can't find enough on Dominion's side, I got plenty in queue on Exile side, so we'll hop over there. No biggie. We will do some house tours of some sort on Wednesday. Thursday we'll be back to regular who knows what, and of course Friday I won't be here because I have a doctor's appointment. So that said, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for joining today. It was fun, and I hope maybe it gives you some ideas for your own games. Again, I look forward to seeing what you guys make for the CBDC challenge. And if you haven't tried it yet, haven't heard of it, want to give it a try, definitely do so. And let me know where it is, what you make, and I will try and get that into the showcase at the end of the month. Till then, I hope you guys stay healthy, cool, because it's warm here. It's been very, very hot. So keep cool with that, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.